Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. So today I'm joined with my sister, Melanie Murphy.
We're in a very old kitchen that has not been renovated. Don't mind these cabinets and the filthy tiles.
Don't look behind
Don't
us.
look.
So today we are going to be arguing our case for having a class in school all about adulting and all of the things that you don't get taught in school but really affect you on a day-to-day basis when you leave school and are out in the real world. So this is going to be our argument.
This is basically all we talk about.
Yeah.
We've been kind of, especially recently, realising how many adulty things we're just...
so bad at.
We'll not say that word. We're crap at.
Yeah.
Could have done with a hand. Could have done with a warning. Could have done with a heads up. Could have done with a little pep talk in school.
Didn't get any of the above. Just got thrown out into the real world with some algebra.
Yeah. Figure it out. And yeah, we're going to be cooking together because
today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. So if you're not familiar with HelloFresh, HelloFresh is the world's leading recipe box company and they will deliver your recipe box to your door at a time which is most convenient for you. I cannot tell you how much HelloFresh has changed my cooking game.
Yeah.
I feel like a little chef now.
But this is why they should sponsor the class on adulting in the schools, because they teach you how to cook.
Yes, and they make it very simple.
Very simple. Yeah, just get a load of these, compile it into like a school book, and there you go.
Imagine how incredible that would be.
Yeah. But I would have loved doing that in school. Like, you have to make food how many times a day for the rest of your life?
I feel like HelloFresh makes it so much more enjoyable though, because it takes the stress of thinking about what you need to get for dinner, having to go to the supermarket and get all your ingredients.
You get the recipe cards with your meals and like gives you steps, very easy steps. Even my husband can cook these and he's crap at cooking.
Me and Jeremy have been cooking them together and it's been so much fun because you can just chat and have a laugh while you're cooking because you don't have to be thinking about what you need to do. You just read the instructions and do as they say. And I love the fact how all the ingredients come pre-measured because it makes...
you just bang, bang, bang.
And it makes clean up so much easier as well.
But you know what I am very excited about is that Jessie has brought spiced beef linguine. My husband and I don't get the meat ones because he's vegetarian, and so like I mostly eat vegetarian with him. I've not had a meat one from them in ages.
Melanie
like when he was when he was doing the long haul flying for work, I was getting the odd meat one, and I was like, ooh,
cheeky.
Cheeky feels like a little treat.
As you all know, the cost of living has gone through the roof, and we have found our food shopping budget has gone up extortionately. From getting HelloFresh, it has really helped us take control of our spending because it's the same price every single week, and you're not getting surprised with what your bill is going to be.
Yeah, you can budget better.
Yeah.
And
we'd often go in though and you'd be picking up ingredients and you're not going to use it again and it's going to get thrown out.
Yeah, I always have the best intentions, but like, you know, buying a bag of onions and I'd use one and stuff like that. I hate that. I hate wasting food.
There's no food waste with this.
Feels so bad throwing out food, and yeah, like you're not having the food waste. The meat is locally sourced. They've got locally sourced ingredients.
I think my favourite thing about them though as well is there's a range of meal plans you can go with. So you can go with like Calorie Smart, Family, Quick Cook, Vegetarian, whatever you want. If you're interested in trying HelloFresh, you can use my code HFJessie85 for up to €85 off your first 4 HelloFresh boxes. I'll have a link in the description box below.
So we're going to cook and chat and eat. And chat.
And we're going to do it all together.
I'm cheating. I'm boiling the kettle first. Not great for your electricity bill, lads. Yeah, my husband is such like a bill
fanatic.
Oh my, he's...
What did he just say there this morning about the kettle?
He was giving out that my dad boiled like a full litre of water to make a cup of tea because, you know, you've boiled the full kettle and then there was loads of water left to go cold again. He's so, you know, like if I leave the fridge open while I'm... If I'm putting the food away after a food shop and I like have the fridge open, he's like, do you realise how much electricity that's using to keep it cold? And like he's really good at knowing how to cut down.
Thomas would hate living with me. Absolutely hate it.
Smooth segue on bills. So the first things in this adulting class, I feel, that need to be taught and tackled is budgeting, how to apply for a mortgage,
how to do your taxes,
when you're in a relationship, like how to go about splitting finances, and like, you know, with the bills, like do you joint account, does it come out of one person's account, do you both pay, like making those decisions. This is me pouring my pre-boiled water. My husband is going to divorce.
Melanie, why did you get divorced?
School should teach you about divorce.
And school should teach you about marriage.
and child rearing. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Why are we just thrown out and just being
And
like
this is what I was saying the other day. I don't think you should be considered an adult till you're 21. And then I think 21 to 25 should be like pre-adult, because you're literally going from being told what to do for your whole life to being thrown out into the real world, and you're like, figure it all out. And it's like, well, how do you expect me to figure it out when I've not been able to make any of my own decisions up until this point? Like, it literally makes no sense. And then any of the stuff that you have to go out and deal with, you've not been taught.
because the whole age of consent, like sexual consent, that's a big topic at the moment, and it has got me thinking so much about that, because that's just one whole area, you know, consent, your contraception options. Like, so many people have no idea that there are, I think there's like 16 contraception method options available, and a lot of teenagers have no idea about most of them. Just all of your decision making around like partner choosing and who to have sex with, and there's just so much of life. Most important parts of life are things that the curriculum in school doesn't prepare you for at all. What are your biggest memories of like what you learned in school?
Algebra, and I was terrible at it. Just long division.
I can't tell you one. When you say algebra, all I know is that there's an X.
Yeah.
I don't know any of it. I don't
Or like,
know.
do you remember the long division where you'd have to put the line over it and then there'd be a number in it?
Oh yeah.
Like all of
But I couldn't really do it very well.
Like a little bit of German, I remember, a little bit of Irish.
I can't speak any Irish.
I can't either.
I know some things
Jessica
off by
sounding
heart.
dumb.
That means Jessica's my name.
Yeah.
It's Misha. See, I'm just going, Je m'appelle. That's French.
Ik wohne in Roscommon. What's that?
Ik phone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's German.
Oh.
Well, take a guess, Mel.
Avalya means home in Irish.
Ik wohne. I think I'm saying that wrong.
We sound like Dumb and Dumber, but like, you know, this is the thing with school. I learned a lot in school. I was just saying this to Jessie, because I enjoyed school, even though I feel like at the time I hated school. When I look back at it, I feel like I learned a lot from the whole act of being there and having to figure out how to deal with social situations and how to navigate like working in a team with people you don't get on with and all that kind of stuff. I definitely learned a lot from school, but not what they were teaching me.
I don't feel like I learned a lot
Very
from school.
little.
Like, even the way you're saying.
I learn a lot more now from
I feel like school made me
self-education, and you know, if I am interested in something, this is where they get it wrong. They go about it in a way that just puts you off being interested in a topic. Well, it makes
you rebel against all the subjects. I feel like there's not enough choice.
Yeah.
And there's not enough...
There's definitely not enough choice. Like, if there had been a class in birth, how to look after a baby, I would have taken that. Maybe a class in how to run your own business, or housekeeping. Housekeeping takes up so much time.
Do you know what I'm just after realising?
What?
There's a year in Ireland, I don't know if other schools have it, called transition year.
Transition year,
You
yeah.
didn't have to do it.
I didn't do it.
But in our school, you had no choice. You had to do it. Do you want to know what we did in transition year?
What?
We did a school play. A school play. And do you want to know what I was in the school play? I was a prostitute.
No.
Behind the bars, having to do a dance with my...
Really? Jess.
Well, anyways, that was literally like the highlight of transition year. Can you imagine?
Actors? Like, how few people get into drama as a job? Like, how is that going to really benefit your life?
Well, Melanie,
I'm going to pretend to be a prostitute for a few weeks.
Melanie, that was a whole year. We could have learned how to drive. We could have had like HelloFresh classes. We could have been cooking. We could have been learning how to do our actual taxes.
How to drive. We still don't have our full licenses. Like, Jessie's done her theory test and I've done my theory test, and I only very recently did my lessons.
I'm starting mine next
I'm
week.
8 years older than you.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had learned when I was your age or younger. Like, a lot of my friends learned when they were like 18, 19.
I'm the same, but I had...
We all need to know how to get around.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but
driving, driving lessons in school.
I know. But why wasn't TY used to do things that are actually productive?
I know.
We need to put the beef in here.
Sizzling.
Wash your hands.
I know, dear.
Me and Mel are so OCD about washing our hands.
Yeah.
We literally will wash our hands like 100
Only
times a day.
since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we're going to have old woman hands.
Were you one of them people who was wiping down your groceries with the anti-bac wipes?
Yeah.
I was like a mad woman. I'm not very good at this, you know. Presentation.
Give me the bigger portion.
I will. Presentation wouldn't be my strong point now.
I usually, I in a lot of meals, if I was cooking, I'd give Thomas like a much bigger portion and stuff. Well, fresh, we're always like perfectly halving everything.
We made
The
a
linguine's
cheese
so
and
good.
bacon pasta the other day, and it genuinely tasted like something we had out of a restaurant. It was so delicious. There's a red spider up there.
I thought you were saying, "Oh my god, the food is so good."
Looking up at
Where?
Look at him.
Oh, he's dead. That's been
He's
there.
not dead.
Is he not?
Look at that cobweb.
I know, but that's been here since we moved
He's
in.
very much alive and
he?
moving. Yeah. He's red legs.
He's never come down.
Today will be the day. Right, never mind.
This is why you look at the steps. See, when you're filming and cooking, it's much more complicated.
There's a lot going on.
We're supposed to put our pasta into the pan. We're so shit, Jessica.
And I did this the other night, I wouldn't mind.
I do believe that in school, everyone should be taught that the only salt that they should ever entertain
Yes, I
is
agree.
pink
Himalayan.
Himalayan salt. It's better for you just health-wise, but it's so much nicer. It's delicious. What? Oh!
He's went on me.
I know it was a spider. You have me on edge. You have me on edge. You're going home today. Mix it. Come on, I'm fucking hungry.
She's taking the whole plate.
No, it's an accident, I swear. It's an accident. Put your plate down, woman. My wrist. My wrist.
No, he's like a kitty portion.
I'm joking. I have to re-divvy it up. Sprinkling the cheese. Have the little salad. Okay.
We have a baby.
We have a baby now, so there may be baby noises. And this baby loves cheese, and she's never had mince. So we're going to try her on some mince today.
Oh, Mel's really nice. Oh, I didn't really think through the fact that's probably the worst thing to eat on camera. It's so messy.
I know.
Do you know, like, if you don't like people eating?
Okay, give yours a try.
What's Mommy eating?
Yeah, that's a winner.
It's really nice. And
It's a winner non-chicken dinner.
winner, mince dinner. Oh my god. It's so disgusting eating that, man. Like, what the hell? Flipping animals.
Weaning a baby. Something to add to this class on adulting, you know? There's billions of babies, and weaning them is such a big whole thing. And our parents never had the internet.
It's like she's upped the level of volume once you've started talking.
Like, I'm just grating her some cheese. And like, you know, with my son, I used to be like so scared. I was like, with the whole baby-led weaning thing, I was just constantly like, what if he chokes? You know, like the fear is real.
What's wrong, baby?
With parenting in general, you learn so much on the job. And it's like almost, you know, you've made the mistake and then it's too late. And it's like, I could have done it knowing that before I did that. Trying to avoid not giving your kids lifelong
Trauma.
issues.
Another thing I feel like we should have a whole class on in school is grief and heartbreak, because it's one thing that every single one of us is going to deal with without a doubt. We're all going to deal with people dying, and we're all going to have our heart broken at some point, even if that's, you know, in your family, with a friendship, like romantic. I genuinely feel like a broken heart is one of the worst feelings in the entire world. And it's such a hard thing to navigate when you first have your heart broken. Like, I remember when I went through my first heartbreak, I genuinely thought the world was ending.
But you know, I think there's part of that is how we are wired as women, and it's just one of those things, like, you kind of hate talking about it. It's like, I'm very much a hardcore feminist, but then at the same time, it's important to acknowledge, like, the way we're wired. And like, the pill only has existed for a few decades, but but women have existed for a lot longer than that. And before then, you know, you'd meet someone and fall in love with them, and you might have babies with them. Maybe they did sleep over, they guarded the babies, they kept you safe. Like, you get very attached to like the first person you fall in love with, the first person you sleep with.
But also, it's like
hormonally, like you literally release hormones to attach to them. Having some salad.
When you get into your first relationship and you've never dealt with heartbreak before, I feel like that's what makes you see them in this godly light and as if they're on a really high pedestal, and you know they would never do anything to ever hurt you because you've never been hurt in that regard before.
But the whole pedestal thing, it extends into just like everything about them. You just think they're God's gift. You know, when you look back at that first person and you're just like, what's wrong?
No, I'm just covering my head.
But she's going, oh. I'm very on edge since that spider.
There's so much going on.
Never mind the dishwasher noises.
The whole time I was in school, like, there was no one conversation had about dealing with grief and people dying. And I just find that so insane, given we all die. Death and taxes are the only two guarantees in life. As miserable as that sounds, that's the truth. First year I had to do my taxes from being self-employed. I didn't really understand the fact that you had to pay preliminary for the following year, and it would be the same amount as you were paying for the previous year. And
I still don't know what that even means.
All of my
savings.
Still don't know
what
you still don't understand?
I don't even understand VAT, Jessica.
Value added tax.
Yeah, but I don't... Like, when I get paid a job, it'll be the job fee plus VAT. Yeah. The VAT sits in my company.
Yeah. And then every 2 months you have to pay your VAT.
Yeah, but I still don't understand.
Speaking of that.
I don't understand why or just anything about any of it. I just don't get it. Like, I have my accountant, and then within my management company, there's another, like, financial guy. And without the two of them, no way would I be a business.
So, do you want me to explain to you?
Come on.
When you're self-employed and you're doing your taxes, you're always working on the previous year.
No, she clapped for the first hands. Oh, I don't think the camera got it. She did her first clap.
Well, she's not on camera, babe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't have any. That was the first time.
So it's nearly tax season. So taxes are due at the end of October, start of November. So you couldn't do your taxes for this year because the year's not fully finished. So you only have all of the information for last year. So you're able to do your taxes for last year, and then you're paying preliminary. So because this year's nearly finished, you need to pay your taxes for this year. So preliminary is the guest. You get it now?
Yeah.
So your preliminary is always for the current year you're in. So that means that you're always kind of one step ahead of yourself. So that's why the first year I did my taxes, I got caught out because the preliminary and the previous year was all my savings.
Oh, that happened to me so bad. Like, when I set up as a company, I had to, like...
Well, I wasn't as bad as you.
Oh, I was... mine was a house deposit gone.
Yeah, it was... Melanie's was absolutely...
It was a house deposit.
Sick in it.
Because I was like, oh, I'm going to my house soon, cool.
But that was when you were spending, like, you were literally a millionaire. You were like, take it all.
I'd never had money. I want to spend as if, like, this is a bottomless pit of money.
And that is what you did.
Yeah, such a bad idea. But, like, no, it was fun at the time. But, you know, just with that, like, budgeting and stuff like that and thinking long term, so many big concepts like this. Because then it's left up to, like, the individual parents and families, and they've all got different situations and different...
I feel like it would set everyone up on a much more equal playing field than it being from the background you come from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I was in college, they basically said that, like, the whole curriculums... Oh, you're just trying to be super loud. Why don't you play with this? A piece of spaghetti. Look, they basically said that, you know, assessment, the way they assess students in school has to change. And I think even still, it's very much still exam based, you know, memory based.
I do think actually there's more continuous assessment now
Than when we were in school.
Yeah. I think that...
A lot more?
Yeah,
or just some?
Some.
If you're that age, tell us.
During the pandemic, I'm nearly sure the last year of school or the one before, they didn't have to do their leaving cert. I think they went off all their tests from that year, which I feel like is how it should be. Definitely. But that was only done because of the pandemic. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but... Location number 3. Cheers.
Cheersies. I've got some minty dark chalk for my little treat.
It's very difficult to cook and talk and eat and talk.
Yeah, I'm so sorry if I eat like I'm eating a wild animal.
I'm the same.
I think I'm a disgusting eater.
I am. No, actually,
I don't like being watched.
You are. You eat with your mouth open all the time.
Oh yeah, because I go, that's when I'm really enjoying my food. I like chew up my mouth. Do you know what's a big one, I think? It's just like friendship and just relationships in general, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's obviously a skill and like a thing that you learn, like reading people and all that comes with, I suppose, navigating friendships throughout your life. And they come and go, friendships come and go. You know, when a relationship breaks down is one thing, but like a friendship breakup as well is like...
I feel like it can be more painful.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect to go through a friendship breakup a lot of the time. You know, when you get into a friendship, you don't often be like, oh, this could end one day. Whereas with a relationship, you're like, we're either going to stay together or we're not.
And I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned, though, especially talking to like older people, is that friends come and go throughout your entire life, but you never learn that. Like everything that you absorb and learn is that Jenny and Jamie are best friends at the end. You know what I mean? It's not like Jenny and Jamie are best friends this year in school. Then Jamie is going to move to this other town and Jenny is going to get a boyfriend. And
they're not going to talk.
They're not going to talk as much anymore and they're going to drift. And then 5 years have passed and they like different things. You know, sometimes they like each other's posts on Facebook. Like it just doesn't...
They don't speak but like each other's Instagram stories every week.
Yeah. But I have certain friends that I was super close to in college, you know. And like we keep up with each other online, but we just don't meet up. And it's not that I don't even know when it happened or how it happened or why it happened. And there's certain friends I've had through YouTube that I'm like still extremely close to, talk to multiple times a week, like we'd still see each other every year. We don't live in the same country, so it's hard to meet up, especially post children. But there's certain people who I was like, you are going to be my friend till we're 80 years old. But like now we never meet up, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not that like I just wouldn't even really want to meet up and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know what's changed.
I feel like
they've changed and I've changed and life has changed.
That's it. You just kind of drift apart.
Making friends as an adult as well is...
Somebody commented this under a recent video of mine when I was speaking about friendships and they hit the nail on the head. It's not making friends that's hard, it's keeping friends. It's very hard to keep friendships in your adult years, I find, because a lot of the time...
I think both are true.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you have little small children, meeting new people who you would want to be friends with is difficult because your life is so based around their naps. Like for a certain time when they're a baby, they nap 4 times a day. Yeah. If you have another child, that's 5 naps you're working your day around.
But aside
for a
from
while,
having kids, like even me, I don't see my friends all that often.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have kids. I think it doesn't even matter.
It's schedules, it's work,
that's it, exactly.
Location.
Responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's just when you're an adult, you're so much busier and have a lot more on your plate than you did when you were a teenager.
I still remember when I went through a very sociable period and I was so much more extroverted, I feel like, than I even am now, you know, in terms of like, I loved being...
on your Monday.
Thank you for telling me. I just loved being in big groups of people, you know. Is it gone?
Yeah.
I loved being in a big group and I'd get so excited and I'd feel so much better coming away from like a massive gathering, whereas now I'm just like, I need to have the retreat. I don't think I've gone fully introvert, but I think I'm a bit more of an ambivert now.
I think you've always been a bit like that.
I'm a bit more like that now, though. Yeah, I was like really sociable and I felt like I was picking up friends very easily. Like, but I don't know, is that to do with where you're at in life? Like I was at a lot more events and stuff where there were more people to become friends with, you know what I mean? Like now I just like when we've gone to parent and toddler groups, when we go to the library, we talk to other parents, we talk to other kids outside the preschool. I just don't like, how do you turn that into a thing where you're meeting up and like the mom friends that I do have, it's like a couple of people that I would be quite close to, but we barely can fit each other in, you know? It's like,
it's like the thought
once a month is like doing well.
The thought of meeting someone for the first time, like a friend, and going for a coffee, you know, or something, it feels so nerve-wracking to me. It feels like a first date kind of thing. You're like, what are we going to talk about? You know,
I know.
What if we don't have the same sense of humour? What if we, you know, don't have anything in common?
What if she doesn't like my whatever?
What if she doesn't like me? But no, I do feel like it has a lot to do with where you are at in life, like what you're saying.
When you're in school, when you're in college, when you're in a job, even in your workplace, you're around those people by circumstance, you know?
Yeah, not by choice.
Sometimes you wonder then,
are they circumstantial friends that you wouldn't have been friends with them?
But that's okay as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think not every friend is supposed to be there forever. Like it's like, you know, when you're dating people, like, you know, just because you're with someone for 3 months, you might learn a lot from the relationship, but it was never meant to be a long-term, lifelong partner for you. These are the things that life is about.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe that we go into a building for 18 years
And learn none of it.
and none of it.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah,
though.
none of it.
It's
Like
not
the
even a
way
joke.
You
Like,
even referenced earlier, like housekeeping, like cleaning. But I don't mean like tidying. I mean deep cleaning.
Yeah.
Our mum taught us that from a very young age.
Yeah.
But had she not of, we wouldn't have had a clue after we left and went out and had our own
when I
places.
was a child, like, I hated that. I hated that she'd be
Yeah.
like, here's your chores. And like, I remember learning how to clean out a bath and a toilet when I was about 7 or 8. And some of my friends just thought that was so crazy. But I'm so
Stands to
glad.
now, yeah.
I'm so glad she, like,
I'm the same.
she, like, not, I wouldn't even say, like, super strict, but she had, like, rules and boundaries for things, and like, that stuff was so important for us to know, you know,
Yeah.
even with just like getting pocket money and things, like, once it was gone, it was gone.
That's
you
why
know,
I feel like the pocket money thing does help you have an understanding of money from a young age that you wouldn't have otherwise.
well, see, because she was very, even with you, like, you had to get a job as a
At
teenager,
15,
very young.
Yeah. Like me getting that job at 15, I feel made me very good with my money. Whereas you weren't very good with your...
I moved out from my mom
Yeah.
after, like, as a teenager, me and mom just clashed really bad. So I moved in with my
You
dad.
were 16, weren't you?
I was 16 and my
Yeah.
dad was not the way my mom is about that
Yeah.
stuff at all. So, like, even though at the time I hated those things about our relationship and stuff, but, like, you know, as becoming a parent, I've realized, like, the role of a parent isn't to be your bestie mate. Like,
No.
it is lovely when you do grow into an adult and become a friend with your parent, but I don't think that should, like, that's not your job.
Parent first.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Parent first, friend is
Second.
like a cherry on the
Yeah.
cake. I know a lot of people who, like, yeah, they aren't friends with their parents, but they will admit that their parents were amazing parents, for they did what they needed to do to help you to grow into a, like, great rounded person. And, like, can I ask, actually, if you're in school now, like, how much is in the curriculum about, like, navigating the internet?
I don't think there's anything.
No.
I don't think so.
Stop, because that's so, like, average screen time. Comment your average screen time.
Yeah, that is something that's very scary, because I didn't have my first Facebook page till I was 14, and even at that I was only allowed, like, sit on it for maybe like half an hour after school, and it was
Dial-up
on a
internet.
desk in the sitting room, so, like, my parents could walk by, you know, and see what I was doing.
Yeah.
You couldn't get internet on your phone, or if you did go onto the internet, nothing would load and it would take all your credit. You know, when you're a kid though, and you see your parents as, like, super people, like, you just see them as, like, they're
your
invincible.
teachers as well, and you're like, it's a 25-year-old, and you're just like, you are God,
and
you are God, and they don't know shit.
Something that made me cry recently was I came across this quote saying that this is your parents' first time doing life as well.
Oh,
That's so heartbreaking.
That's
because it's like, this is your parents' first time navigating their 40s, their 50s.
But that's the scary part of growing up, is, like, realizing your parents, they're
not invincible.
They're just completely normal mortals making mistakes, and
they haven't,
you know,
a clue either.
Yeah,
just doing the best that they can. with
that's
what they
my
have.
jack. Oh yeah, a class on conflict resolution would be
Yeah.
nice. Like,
And also learning how to fight with people.
yeah, well, conflict is so important, and, like, the whole shit about, you know, getting into a relationship and, like, fighting being bad is bullshit.
It's
like,
how
you
you
have, it's how you
Yeah.
fight. You just can't grow in life without conflict.
Learning about attachment styles.
Yeah, learn
That would be
attachment
so
styles.
helpful.
My goodness, like, there's so many things you do in therapy that you have to pay for as an adult that you could learn in school.
Even your periods. There's not. You don't even get spoken to about your bloody
Your
periods.
I didn't know. When I first got my first period, I was 11. I ran into my mum and I was bleeding, and I said, I'm dying. And she just, like, threw pads at me, and she was getting ready for work. She was in a mad rush, and she was just like, oh, it's your period, you know, just put one of these in your knickers, blah, blah. I had no idea what she was talking about. I didn't have a clue what she was talking about.
Yeah.
And
You were very young getting your period.
Yeah.
So I was 14.
Yeah.
I was delighted when it came. When I got my first period, I was, like, buzzing in the back.
Yeah, you would be, though, if you were, kind of all your friends would kind of start and stuff.
But it used to feel very shameful, like, in school and stuff. Do you know, you'd be
Yeah.
hiding your pad and you'd be trying to take out your bag or put it in your pocket, and if anyone kind of saw it, you know, you'd
just,
be
like
mortified.
sexuality, gardening, I would even like to learn about at school. Just anything.
Yeah.
And it, like, we got a garden, and my husband and I are like, without Google, everything would be dead. All our plants in the house would be dead.
I'd be dead.
There's so many things. This video is not against teachers. You know, like I wanted to be a teacher, and teachers are amazing. They're doing their job. It's about the curriculum. And I think it's time to leave because nobody taught me that how to read baby signs. Like this video if you liked it. Yes!